What?
I really like ice.
What? I can't hear you.
I really like ice.
You're seriously very far away. Do you want to come closer?
Oh, for God's sake, forget it.
Hello, my fellow hunters. Who's ready to bite down into a tasty little rumor? And in this case, it's a rumor very much supported by the game files themselves. And the rumor is thus: we are going to get a certain Frozen Barioth, a variant from Monster Hunter Explore. Yeah, if this is legit, and honestly it has all the hallmarkings of being so, it changes everything. Because Monster Hunter Explore and its monsters, like Frontier, like Online, rest in peace, are not canon. They are very much just spin-offs using the Monster Hunter license. But if we get an original creation from something like Explore actually placed into Iceborne, into the mainline series, well, then all bets are off. We could see a Frontier monster, a screen-wide particle effect spammer that makes no sense, rhyme, or reason. Doesn't even attempt to be ecologically believable like every mainline monster. But admittedly, some of them are absolutely badass, and I do genuinely have about 3 or 4 that I really would love to see. I'm looking at you, Mothbird! But back to the, well, focus of today, Frozen Barioth. Indeed, it has been found. Behold, its icon snugly nestled amongst, well, everyone else's. And this is very exciting because Frozen Barioth is a very curious monster. I think his color scheme is a little bit questionable. The bright blue tusks are, well, not to my taste per se, but a Barioth that is much more focused on his breath attacks, the Snownados, and the like is something very neat. So what is exactly Frozen Barioth then? Well, it would be a variant, and of course it would be a Barioth variant, which would make Barioth the first ever monster to have both a variant and a subspecies. And yeah, you may now unsubscribe from pointless Monster Hunter facts, but that's still very curious to me because of course he's from Explore. There's not really extensive, well, lore about him. He's just very much called a Barioth. But not just that, he's all about the poison too, and this is very exciting because he spreads snow along the ground, leaving a trail, a patch of it, and if you, well, walk over it, not only do you get encased in a snowball, so maybe we'll get the snowman debuff back, which is always just so much fun to waddle around desperately trying to break free. And then you also get poisoned, and I very much like the idea of toxic ice being just completely cascaded over the battlefield. Other than that, enhanced larger tornadoes, he uses his breath more often, he is very normal Bariothy. But look, if there's one thing World Iceborne does when it brings back a monster, I say back, when it introduces a monster that already exists, I suppose in this case, is turn it up to 11 and make it ridiculous. So there's no doubt in my mind that if Frozen Barioth is indeed true, we are going to get, I don't know, zone-wide apocalyptic toxic blizzards, and it's going to be badass. That is, of course, if it actually is Frozen Barioth, because while, yes, it is named as such in the files, the icon isn't exactly, well, screaming Frozen Barioth. See? I told you, nothing. If we look at the icon of Frozen next to the icon of our mystery Barioth, well, there is a very stark difference. Chiefly the loss of the deep purple belly that Frozen Barioth gets to denote his poisonous touch. Whereas this, well, leaked one, air quotes, is essentially wreathed in ice itself. It has ice armor a la Velkhana, armor. It is crystallized up his wing arms and his neck. He seems to very much be more literally Frozen Barioth. It could be a case where they've just happened to gone with Frozen, ignoring the fact there is another Frozen Barioth technically in a Monster Hunter game, even if it's a spin-off, and they're just like, who cares, we're making our own Frozen Barioth, and they can just share the same name, which would be a little bit confusing, but also, each of his shoulders have happy faces on them. Yay! And is that not just absolutely precious? So I do like the idea that this might be a Barioth that has maybe survived a Velkhana encounter, retained the frosted coating, and has, well, been hardened by that grueling battle. Granted, that's more deviant-y, but you could try and spin it as variant. Let's be honest, it's a little bit loose when it comes to the boundaries, but either way, while it might share that Frozen moniker, there's every chance that based on this icon, it's at least going to be majorly altered or something completely original. Food for thought, at any rate. The question is, though, when are we going to get him? Because it's weird that it would be added to the game files of the most recent Kulftaroth patch if it's really far away. So, to my mind, there's three main options here. It either arrives between Arch-Tempered Namiel and Elatrion as a little bit of a stopgap, just an extra little, here, have another variant to tide you over. And while that would be neat, it would seem very random, but then again, if there's one thing Capcom is master of, is surprise! Huge update trailer! Haha! Out of fucking nowhere. And it's really exciting for everyone who plays the game, but I wake up in cold sweats at night, panicking to see if there's any news I need to cover. Either way, that would be perhaps too random. I can see them pulling a Stygian Zinogre and Safi'jiiva combo and adding Frozen Barioth as a secret extra bonus along with Elatrion, but even then, that seems very weird to be like, look, we're telling you about Elatrion, it's the main monster of this next title update, he's a black dragon, finally in Iceborne, he's one of the most famous, legendary, loved creatures, yeah! Also, surprise, there's a Barioth variant from a spin-off game. Surely it would be the other way around. They'd focus on Frozen Barioth and then surprise Elatrion, like they focused on Stygian Zinogre and then surprise Safi'jiiva. It just seems a really weird way around to do it, which leaves the only third option as sometime after Elatrion. Which again goes back into that's kind of random, especially as that's not the most exciting of monsters to follow the first literal black dragon, and that's no offense to Frozen Barioth, he has the potential to be incredible, and Barioth himself is incredible, but he's following a black dragon. Then again, the gravitas of getting a monster from a non-main series game cannot be understated, because that truly is earth-shattering. So we could start to see combinations like Poison on Barioth that we never really thought we would. It's kind of acidic Glavenus levels of out of nowhere, because that really was, to me, out of nowhere. So I am very, very curious to see how this develops, to see if it is indeed real, and to see what that means, because we might end up getting a lot more than the expected 2 monsters for the rest of Iceborne's cycle, and that is something to be very, very happy about. And to cap this off, to me, Barioth equipment being so utterly garbage adds credency to this leak, because look at Brachydios, his weapons were awful, his armor was awful, and clearly they always knew they were going to rageify him and make his stuff suddenly fantastic. So we have Punishing Draw locked up on, well, just kind of garbage Barioth armor, and then suddenly we're going to get Frozen Barioth armor, Frozen Barioth weapons that take it to a whole new level and are suddenly worth using and come with just a badass new look. And with that, guys, I will leave you there. Frozen Barioth, yay or nay? Do you buy it? Do you buy not? Either way, it's very, very exciting. Like, if you enjoyed this, subscribe for more, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.
Rage Gaming with the video float.
But that's all that's really relevant at the mo, but I'm still gonna leave this up so you patrons know that I love you even though the outro's no longer that kind of relevant. But the new one's being worked on and it's gonna be a truly badass song, and don't worry, I won't be doing any rapping on it. I'm gonna go now. This was shit.